Matt Canada. Hey, Matt Canada.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. We scored.
Yeah. Yeah. Even at a Penguins game, this man does not want. Nobody wants this man here.
No. You know, when the city of Pittsburgh groups together and gets together for something, it's typically great. Great things happen.
Yeah.
And last night, the Pens game, even though the Pens lost, unfortunately, to the Blackhawks, it was that was incredible to hear that, man. It's been reaching all the way to hockey.
Yeah.
To hockey, bro.
It's hit from Commanders games to London games to
AEW.
pro wrestling events, and now it's hit a hockey game, a Penguins hockey game.
Oh, I love it.
And it will never end until this man's reign of terror is over.
And that, should have been last year. That should have been this offseason.
That should be right now.
That should be this week, right? Well,
But,
ladies and gentlemen,
yeah.
we are halfway through our bye week, week 6, and nothing has happened. Nothing has changed. Nothing has been done. No one's been cut. No one's been fired. No
one's demoted. No one's released. There's absolutely nothing going on.
No. And this is to none of our surprise.
It's just frustrating. That's what it is. No. It's not surprising one bit from me and Dan here, but it's very frustrating because it just goes to show the Steelers are still stuck in their ways, as they will probably forever be, unfortunately.
Always, man. And it's all because, they got to win last Sunday versus the Ravens, right? And
yeah, they're 3-2 now. They have a winning record into the bye week. They are first place in the AFC North, and they are coming off a win against a arch rival in the Baltimore Ravens.
And as Mike Tomlin would say, we handled business. Boy, that is the ugliest form of business I've ever seen, Coach T. You sure have the ugliest and poorest form of business in the NFL. You really do.
If I'm going to be honest with you guys, it doesn't look like business. It just looks like you escaped.
Pretty much, honestly. And although I am happy that they came out with the dub, very ugly.
Yeah, listen.
And we got bailed out by a lot of mistakes by the Ravens. Do not get that mistaken.
Yeah, listen. We don't want to sound like Debbie Downers. We don't want to be all negative and everything, but we got to be honest with you guys. If we're not honest with you guys, we're lying to you guys and we're lying to ourselves, and that's something we're not going to do. We're going to be upfront and honest with you, as we always are.
So that Ravens win, although it's good, it helps us be first place in the AFC North, right? Heading into the bye, a much-needed bye for everybody. That win does not change a goddamn thing. That does not change our tone on Canada. That does not change our tone on Kenny. That does not change our tone on this entire team as a whole.
No, despite where we stand, it doesn't change a darn thing.
No,
one bit.
Does not. Jacob, the only update I've heard about TJ's injury is he dislocated his finger, popped it back in place, has a couple torn ligaments in his finger, but that will not keep him away from action after the bye week. He will need surgery after the season.
Yeah, but TJ Watt is built different. He is not from this planet.
No, he is not, man. 8 sacks heading into the bye week through the first 5 weeks, which leads the NFL. 8 sacks. 8.
Yeah.
This guy is not human. This guy is not from this planet.
No, I think someone needs to do further inspection on what's going on in Wisconsin. What exactly they're feeding these people.
I don't know what's in the cheese over there, bro. Seriously.
Or what's in the Watt bloodline, honestly. Like, what in the ever-living crap?
I'm going to start calling him the Terminator. He's not from this planet.
Might as well be.
And if it wasn't for TJ Watt, if it wasn't for Alex Highsmith, and if it wasn't for George Pickens, I would be scared to know where this team would be right now. Because if it wasn't for those 3 players, we would not be first place in the division right now. Most importantly, when I think of the first 5 weeks, when I think back as we are now enjoying our bye week, stress-free of the Steelers, right? Knowing we ain't got to worry about any Steelers football or stressful Steelers football this Sunday. We can kind of enjoy NFL football and just relax, knowing we won't have to call 911 halfway through the game or halfway through the first quarter. But when I look back through the first 5 weeks, I'm thinking to myself, man, the Steelers are damn lucky to have TJ, Highsmith, and George Pickens.
Yeah.
You take away their splash plays, you take away their impact, they do not have 3 wins.
No, at best, maybe, if I'm going to be real and blunt with you guys, maybe 1 at best.
Yeah.
At
Absolutely.
best.
And yes, you guys are right. Even JPJ, yes, because he made the play of the year, in my opinion, thus far with that interception.
If it wasn't for JPJ's interception in the end zone, Kenny and Pickens would never have had that opportunity to get the game-winning touchdown.
Never.
So we got JPJ to thank for that.
Absolutely, man. JPJ came up with the biggest play.
Yeah, considering that we all thought that the game was over because Gunnar Olszewski almost blew it again.
And he's still on the roster.
He's still here.
Why?
The guy makes mistake after mistake. He's a turnover machine. The guy can't hold on to the freaking football.
All he does is fumble the football.
And he still has a job on the roster.
Why?
I don't get it.
Anthony McFarland's coming back soon. So
yeah,
can't he take his spot?
We have Calvin Austin, who is healthy, by the way, and even Desmond King.
Dude.
So why does Gunnar have a job?
And if you're thinking, well, who takes his roster spot? Who takes that fifth receiver role? I don't care. I don't find. We're the Steelers.
Can
we can figure that out.
anybody.
Denzel Mims, we just signed to the practice squad. Why not?
It could be him. You know, we could promote Des Fitzpatrick from the practice squad again.
Bring back Darius Hayward-Bay. I don't care.
What's gonna hurt? Who's gonna miss Gunnar?
No one.
But he's still here. Hence, changes are not happening, and changes won't be made.
So I have no idea why that's still the case. But obviously, most importantly, I don't know why Canada still has a job as we speak.
Yeah.
I don't care that we got the victory. I mean, I do, but I don't care that because we got the victory that saves his job.
Listen, I think the best way I can try to put it for both of us here is we're happy we got the win, but we're not satisfied with the performance and how we got it.
Because that Ravens game continued to expose our mistakes. It was very rinse and repeat from the first 4 games prior to that.
Yeah.
And it just left us feeling the exact same way we felt after every other victory we've experienced the last couple of years.
Yep.
Ugly. We're glad we got it. But, we got a lot of room to work, and we still do, on both sides of the ball. Both sides of the ball.
Not just the offense, but the defense. The defense is probably just as bad.
It is just as bad.
And we'll go over the ranks. We'll go over everything.
Yes, because
everything.
It's a concern, and there absolutely needs to be changes, not just from the coaching, which won't happen, but if there's going to be any changes that need to be made or that should be made or that could be made, most likely,
importantly, really.
Not just most importantly, but more likely to happen, more realistic.
Yeah.
It will be roster moves. People that should be starters now.
Or seeing extra playing time.
Exactly.
If any.
Outside of firing Matt Canada, giving certain guys more opportunity, more playing time, more reps should be the biggest change after this bye, heading into this bye, most importantly. And yes, the majority of them are the rookies. Excuse me, we'll get into it. But obviously, we got to start with Matt Canada, man. I'm sick and tired of talking about this guy, but here we are again.
I'm honestly at a point where I'm starting to even question if this guy will ever leave Pittsburgh.
No, he will not. He will not.
Even after this season, I wonder if they're going to give him an extension.
They cannot. Don't speak that into existence. They cannot.
It's something that has crossed my mind. It's something that honestly I don't doubt the team to potentially do. Unfortunately,
no. This guy's got to go, man. This guy, he should have been gone after Ben left. And then after he shit the bed last year, he should have went.
Yeah.
But the reason they brought him back is because, we don't want to stumble on him and Kenny's build and their chemistry. Even though Kenny's literally gonna have to learn an entire new offense next year when the guy goes. So why are you scared of jumping ahead? Makes no sense. And here we are, still with the guy, saying the same things we said last year's bye. We went back and watched those clips we did during last year's bye. Same thing is said. Same thing is still felt the same. No difference whatsoever about Canada, about the offense, about anything.
The only thing is
basically zero change.
The only difference is the offense and the rankings is actually worse than last year.
Much worse.
Where do we rank overall last year? Wasn't it 22nd or 23rd?
22nd or 23rd. Regardless, wherever we ranked, Keep in mind that every single year since Matt Canada has become the Steelers OC, since he was promoted from the quarterback coach, the Steelers offense has been bottom 10 in the league. Every single year this guy has been OC. And every year it seems like it's getting worse. It's getting more repetitive. Yeah. Keep in mind, he has he has a younger quarterback. He has on paper, a better line. He has great targets, right? He has an entire offensive roster that you would dream of, that you would love to build up as a young core.
And if you were to
the guy's obviously not utilizing the majority of it.
No, and if you were to give this pairing on the offense, the talent to anybody else, a Mike McDaniel, a Kyle Shanahan, and Andy Reid.
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
Just for example, I mean, they'd be more than likely probably top 10 offense. Like,
they have that potential, man.
They do.
They really do.
And many of them stick out like a sore thumb on what they're able to do with such limitations.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Matt Canada, the fact that he's still here is not surprising, but it's frustrating and disappointing.
And although we can say that changes need to be made and fire Canada, chant it during the Pens games, chant it during the Steelers games, which at one point in the Ravens game, we had more fire Canada chants than we did points. So what does that go to show you? What does that tell you? But clearly nothing's going to be done. Nothing's going to be made because the Steelers are so stuck in their ways. They're so outdated. They're stubborn, dude. I don't understand it.
No.
I don't know what. I don't know what goes on in their heads when they think about this guy. Now, obviously, whoever they promote or whoever they bring in is not going to be an improvement. First of all, it's going to be an improvement. It's not going to be it's not going to be the answer.
No,
it's not. It's going to be a mid-season fill-in. And I know we said this about Randy Fichtner, but it cannot get any worse. It can't.
There's no freaking way it can get worse.
Do you want to go over the stats, please?
When it comes to the offensive rankings, first of all, when it comes to the passing offense, they are currently 27th, averaging 187.8 yards per game. The rushing offense is 30th, averaging 80.4 yards per game, leaving the offense to be 30th overall in the NFL currently.
And also one of only 2 teams to not score a rushing touchdown.
Yeah, that's another thing. We have 5 total touchdowns on offense. We are averaging 1 touchdown per game, and all 5 are Kenny Pickett passing touchdowns. 0 rushing.
0 on the ground. 0.
Overall, we are averaging 268.2 total yards per game. Like I stated, 5 touchdowns total on offense, 1 per game, and 15.8 points per game.
Wow. So we are currently 30th total offense. We are 27th passing offense.
Yep.
We are, where's it at?
30th.
We are 30th rushing offense.
Yeah.
Scoring offense, we are 29th. No, 30th.
30th.
Tied with the Raiders. Yeah, it's that bad. Red zone offense. Dead last. 32nd. 32nd.
If I remember correctly, I think the only... No, yeah. If I remember correctly, I think we've only been down toward the red zone twice. On how many drives?
And they still can't finish.
Only twice.
And they still can't finish.
No, they can't. Not at all. Yet Matt Canada still has a job, guys. He's still here in Pittsburgh.
And unfortunately, there's no reason for any of us watching, any of us talking about it, that have been preaching for how long now? Years, it seems, right? Centuries, it seems, at this point.
Feels like it.
There's no reason to believe that he will be fired, that he will be gone, that he will be cut, that he will be kicked to the curb, that will be given a pink slip.
Nope.
No reason to believe it, and that's unfortunate. Whether that's because Canada holds a grudge over something or someone in the organization, or oh, well, we got the win, so everything's good, right? You know, because that's how Tomlin feels.
Yeah, that's apparently his
they're happy
mentality.
With just scraping off wins, thinking, hey, we handled business, even though, no, you didn't. You like Rob stated, you just escaped.
Yeah.
It's not handling business.
Now, far from handling business. If you handled business, you would have dismantled Baltimore and Lamar Jackson, but you didn't.
And like you said, man, these Fire Canada chants are reaching other sports other venues, other countries,
other games that are not Steelers related. Like, Jesus Christ.
Are you kidding me? And this organization does not want to listen to the fans.
No, they don't.
And there's actually, I've been seeing certain people consider that the Fire Canada chants to be an embarrassment. How? How are the Fire Canada chants an embarrassment? The only thing that's an embarrassment is Matt Canada still being the OC. The only thing that's an embarrassment is Matt Canada, ever since being the OC for the Steelers, has been leading this offense to bottom 10 every single year.
In every category. Every.
So the way I consider it, it's not an embarrassment. In fact, I'm proud of people talking about it, speaking it, preaching it, chanting it. I consider this a movement at this point. Us fans are not satisfied. We have to voice our frustration. Unfortunately, the higher-ups are spineless and will not listen. Nothing will be done.
Nope.
So although we can say changes need to be made, changes should be made, they won't be made. That's the problem. I will be shocked if anything happens at any point this year when it comes to Matt Canada. I don't know why they're so stubborn. If they want to hold on to the Kenny Canada chemistry, quote unquote, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. He has to learn a whole new system anyway next year. So what's the point? What's the wait for? Makes no sense.
Yeah, because it's not like they're building upon anything on offense. They're not doing anything.
They're not.
There's nothing to build upon. There's no progress. There's no positive. There's zero progression.
Nothing.
They just go into the game and just, it's like on the fly they figure out exactly what they try to do, what the game plan is.
Yeah, exactly.
And what they do is the same stuff.
It's just so similar play calling, 3 and outs. It's always predictable. Nothing creative, nothing mixed around. It's always the same game plan. Always sideline dunks and all this garbage, right?
Yeah.
That we've been seeing for how many years now? How many weeks? How many games? And it's going to remain that way. So, again, there's no reason to believe anything's going to be done about this guy. And there's no reason to believe that anything is going to improve with this offense. I feel like we're saying this every week.
Yeah, but
I want you guys to understand that although it's our bye week, do not let that blind you. Because we got to win versus the Ravens, do not let that blind you.
Yeah.
Do not let that blind you. Because the truth is, it's still terrible. And this team is still terrible.
And the
fact that we are in first place in the AFC North says more about the AFC North than it does about the Steelers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We are in a crap division. We're just on top of the crap.
We are the crap on top of the crap.
We're the last plop on top. That's all we are.
This team needs a lot of help.
And yes, we all know about the offense because, unfortunately, we've been seeing the same offense for the last 4 years.
But we can't exclude the defense
We cannot absolutely exclude the defense.
Outside of the sacks, which primarily are coming from T.J. Watt.
Yeah. Happy birthday, by the way.
Yes, it is his birthday.
The best defensive player in the league right now turns 29 years old today. So happy birthday to him.
Happy birthday to T.J. Watt, man. Hopefully he's enjoying his day. But outside of the sacks and the turnovers that the defense is getting, you take that away, what exactly do you have on defense?
Here's an interesting stat that I'm not sure if many of you guys know this. The Steelers' offense is ranked 30th. The Steelers' defense is also ranked 30th. You take away Highsmith, you take away Watt, this defense is jack shit.
Yeah.
You take away the splash plays, you take away the touchdowns, you take away the sacks. This defense is shit.
Yeah, because I'm gonna go over the rankings right here. Their passing defense, we all know it's terrible. The secondary just sucks. But they are currently ranked 24th, allowing 245.6 yards per game. Again, the secondary sucks. Wallace and Peterson they can't cover themselves up in a blanket if they tried.
No, they couldn't. In fact, I'd imagine that when they go to sleep at night, the blanket is on the floor.
I think that's even more indication that JPJ needs to start some games at cornerback.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know what pisses me off the most? You know what pisses me off the most? It's not the fact that we're not going to fire Matt Canada, because we already expected that. It's the fact that Terrell Austin, our defensive coordinator, the other coordinator, right, who definitely shouldn't be excluded from blame
or criticism
or fire chance, if I'm going to be 1,000% honest with you, Here is what he said about Joey Porter Jr. Not right now. He should not start right now. When the time comes, it'll come. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? How do you watch Levi Wallace week after week after week after week after week and think, hey, he should still be the starter. He should still see playing time. Versus Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua in week 6.
Yeah, is that another reason why they're not going to have JPJ start yet? Because they're worried of a rookie cornerback going up against another rookie wide receiver who's top 3 in receiving yardage right now. And Cooper Kupp.
Is that also the reason that they didn't start Broderick Jones up until this past week? Because Dan Moore got hurt. Because they're afraid of the Mortal Kombat gauntlet of pass rushers he had to face the first 3 or 4 weeks. Who gives a shit?
If you ask me, that's a bullshit excuse.
That is living in your fears, motherfucker.
You drafted them for a purpose. You drafted them for a reason. And it's the bye week at this point. Why are you going to be so stubborn and scared to start the rookies that you got for your future, especially when the starters that you have in ain't doing their job?
Exactly.
Dan Moore was not doing his job.
No. Not
the
at
guy
all.
stinks up the joint, constantly allowing pressure, can't freaking block anybody whatsoever. Broderick Jones comes in against the Ravens, plays all snaps at left tackle, only allows one fucking pressure.
One pressure was a legitimate brick wall all game. Jadeveon Clowney and whoever the Ravens tossed at him couldn't do anything.
No. Just like JPJ. When he's in there, when he's in coverage, he's not allowing any catches or hardly any.
No.
His coverage ranking is actually 0.
In fact, I would love to see JPJ with more reps as a starter so we can get more of a glimpse, more of a look at what we actually got in the guy. These small little glimpses are promising, but let's see what he can do in a full game starting with Wallace and Peterson reps. Then we can see what we really got. I'm loving what we're seeing thus far. He saved us versus the Ravens. My Lord and Savior, JPJ.
Yeah. But no, let's not start him because
Let's continue.
he's not ready.
Let's continue this. Let's continue to start a guy that we already drafted his replacement in Broderick Jones. Let's continue to start Levi Wallace, if he's not, I don't know how, he has got to be the bottom ranked corner in the entire NFL right now. And Peterson's not far from it.
No, definitely not.
Peterson can continue to start. He still sucks. But at least you have that vet presence opposite of JPJ that they've been talking about all camp and preseason.
Yeah.
Right? They've been mixing it up even before the draft, even before he was drafted. And then you can still motion Peterson in the slot and get that position moving around. Get Desmond King involved for fuck's sake. Why'd you bring him in if he was never going to be on the starting defense? That just makes no sense to me. You want to move Desmond King outside as well, you can do that. He has that versatility. He's our most versatile DB,
And that's
him.
what I don't get. Terrell Austin, before he was our DC, was our secondary coach. A man that would crave and want to have fun with versatile defensive backs in the secondary. I want to use him around. He's a DC now. He's in charge of the defense. You figure he want to get those guys involved in rotations.
Absolutely.
Have fun with it, but he's not. Every week with the defense in the secondary, it's the same.
Or just as a defensive coordinator, he sees that his top, or his not top, because they're not top of anything. He sees that his 2 starting outside corners are getting burnt week after week, almost play after play. Outside of their interceptions versus the Raiders, they still suck. How can a DC watch those 2 guys and not want to put in fresh faces like Joey Porter Jr. and Desmond King? Or incorporate Desmond King more in the slot.
Yeah.
And some nickel packages, nickel blitzes. Instead, we want to continue to play Chandon Sullivan, who almost allowed Nelson Aguilar to score a deep touchdown. Thank God he dropped it.
Yeah.
I just don't understand it. You got all these corners that are getting burnt. And we rarely see JPJ. We rarely see Desmond King. And we rarely even see Elijah Riley, who was a standout in camp and preseason.
Yeah. Doesn't make any sense.
But you continue to play your 3 worst corners.
The definition of insanity, like Jesus freaking Christ. It doesn't make any sense.
How does a DC, how does a guy in that position watch his defense, watch the film pretty much every day?
He's right there. He's on the sideline. He's in the film room.
Like, how does he not make the team? I don't understand.
He's right there.
I don't care how much experience they have.
You're
They
the
suck.
coach.
They suck.
You're the coach. You got to act like it.
And they're a big reason why our defense sucks.
Yeah, like I stated, our passing defense is ranked 24th, allowing 245.6 passing yards per game. But the rushing defense just as well is also a big part of the secondary because Wallace and Peterson just aren't great run defenders.
Our missed tackle rate with these corners is so bad.
But our rush defense is actually worse as we're ranked 28th, giving up 143.8 rushing yards per game.
That hasn't changed.
Now I understand Hayward is out. You know, he suffered that groin injury early on. He's on IR.
Yep.
He should be back in November sometime soon, hopefully. But let's be real here. Cameron Hayward ain't exactly going to be here forever.
No, and frankly, unfortunately, he's aging.
Yeah. You can't always rely on Cameron Hayward. And supposedly we increased our depth at defensive line. But they haven't really been doing their job properly.
No, not at all. Benton's been a nice standout, and he should continue to see 3 down reps. They should not shy away from that.
Yeah, if there's a positive with the defensive line, Hayward's injury, it's Benton already getting some early downs and a lot of snaps, and it's showing.
But it upsets me that they shy away from playing these guys. Like, why?
Yeah.
Outside of firing Cannon, which we know is not going to happen, the biggest change they need to make during the bye week is playing their fucking rookies. So, Broderick Jones, he should be the starter the rest of the year. He was a brick wall. He was excellent versus the Ravens. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Kenny was safe on that side.
When when JPJ is in coverage, positive things happen. The secondary actually looks solid with JPJ in there.
Or even if you don't want to throw JPJ into the fire, how can you watch Wallace week after week and not want to just bench him? Throw away your fears of throwing JPJ into the fire or thinking he's not ready and this and that. Put the guy in there. He can't be worse than Wallace. Are you kidding me?
No, hell no.
Wallace is terrible. He is really bad.
I already know exactly who we're not going to resign after this season. And
Exactly.
that's Wallace.
So why not put JPJ in there? Make him the starter. If you don't want to make him the starter, you can still put him in dime and nickel packages a lot more often than you did the first 5 weeks. Which means keeping Wallace on the field a little more often. Or off the field, I should say, because God knows we don't need him on the field.
Yeah. And Keanu Benton too, have him see more starts.
Yes. He needs to see 3 down reps. 3 down potential he absolutely has.
Yeah.
Well, this is the time for him to see it. It's a lot sooner than the DC and the defensive line coach anticipated, but consider that a blessing. Let's see what the guy's got. And so far, it's been good.
These are your top 3 rookie selections.
Yes.
Broderick Jones, JPJ, Keanu Benton.
Your 3 biggest needs. And you're not playing them. Like, why not? You have constant errors on both sides of the ball, and you're not playing them. I don't understand that. I really don't understand that. It makes no sense to me. And then Darnell Washington needs to see more time on the field. Even when Muth is back after the bye week, he should still see time as the leading blocker.
Big time.
That'll help out the rushing game. That'll help out create holes for Najee and Warren.
That's another thing. Let's not put Muth in blocking situations. The guy's not a good blocker.
And Hayward both.
Yeah, both of them were useful when going out for routes and catching the ball. They are very dependable when healthy when the ball is thrown their way.
Yeah.
You drafted Washington for a reason, and that's blocking. So what the hell are you doing? Why are you locking Muth down as a fucking blocker when that's not his trait? That's not why you drafted him years ago over Creed Humphrey.
Yeah. God, that's still a blunder. Because Mason Cole is still an issue. And
big time.
And I know this is off-season talk, but I think Cole and Chucks ought to go too. After this year.
If I had to look at weak points in the offensive line, it's definitely center and right tackle.
Yeah, truthfully.
Big time.
We need a prime center, and we need a very serviceable and plus starter right tackle. Chucks is serviceable, but he's not someone you want to keep around for too long. He's been here long enough. You've seen enough of Chucks, honestly, at this point. But that's for offseason. But speaking of that, man, after Terrell Austin's comments and seeing how he's not making changes himself to the defense, and how he's just blind to everything, and he's not playing the rookies, and how bad the defense has been, and how he's putting guys in bad situations. Again, the entire scheming is bad throughout the entire team on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
I think in the offseason, man, the Steelers need to have a complete coordinator wash. Burn them both. Find new guys. Outside the organization, for fuck's sake.
Well, that's the funny
Swear jar.
thing. That's the funny thing, because I think this might be a solid transition to the news that came out. I think it was Monday afternoon, because apparently it was reported by Mark Caboli
Yeah.
that former Buccaneers offensive coordinator Byron Leftwich and former backup to Big Ben Byron Leftwich
Shout out to Byron Leftwich.
reached out to the Steelers about coming in possibly as an offensive consultant, but the Steelers have reportedly pretty much been ignoring him.
So they're not even responding to his request.
If that is true, that's pretty shitty on the Steelers side. Now, I know Leftwich doesn't have the greatest resume, considering how he was in his last year with Tampa Bay.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was
bad.
It was very bad. Very bad. Tampa Bay's offense, Tom Brady's last year was not good. But I never shied away from bringing him in as either a consultant or even as
An offensive assistant.
or even as an OC.
Yeah.
I never shied away from that because I always thought Leftwich was a bright-minded coach. I mean, Bruce Arians has nothing but positive things to say about him as a coach.
Yeah, and that's Bruce Arians, a Super Bowl winner
The man admitted
and a future Hall of Famer.
The man admitted when it came to him coming out of retirement to take the Buccaneers game, one of the reasons was I would not take the Buccaneers job if Byron Leftwich was not available.
Exactly.
That's some type of praise from Bruce freaking Arians right there.
Now, I don't think Byron Leftwich is the answer, but I would love to bring him in as an extra offensive mind, as an extra offensive assistant, or if by some miracle, by some grace of the Lord above, that Canada were to go, we bring him in as the interim guy instead of promoting Mike Sullivan or instead of promoting Glenn Thomas.
It can't hurt.
I would much rather bring him in, make him the interim guy.
It can't hurt.
And if he actually does good for the offense, maybe that's an audition for him. Think about it.
If you want to look at it that way.
It can't be worse than Canada.
If you want to look at it that way, it can't hurt considering that the offense needs drastic help, needs drastic change. You can't keep going at Canada.
No.
At all whatsoever.
It cannot be worse than the bald guy in the booth that had zero reaction to that game-winning touchdown.
Or is another reason because we brought in an offensive assistant in Glenn Thomas this offseason? Are the Steelers just simply thinking, well, we brought this one guy in, we don't need to bring another guy in?
The offense
that's
is
bullshit.
almost dead last in everything. I think you need any or all offensive minds you can bring in at this point. I don't know why they shy away from it. He might not be the answer, but it's worth giving him a shot of bringing him in for some advice or ideas. And based on his experience and some success, which is way more than anything we got underneath or inside the organization.
Yeah.
It's terrible. It's terrible.
And the fact that the Steelers are not even simply giving this guy a response, just blatantly ignoring him reportedly.
Yeah.
If they're going to do that,
that's just messed up.
Because that's messed up. And remember, Tomlin knows this fucking guy. This man was our backup for Big Ben.
And I always looked
So
at
Tomlin coached this freaking guy, so he knows him.
I always looked at Byron Leftwich as the perfect guy to be underneath Mike Tomlin.
You figure, right? But if the Steelers and Tomlin are going to ignore someone that they know, then that makes me think that they're not even going to bring anybody that they don't know outside the organization into the team.
Exactly, which they haven't done since Haley.
And
because every other coordinator since then has been the quarterback coach that got promoted.
And mark my words, and I've been saying it since last year, and I'm going to say it again, mark my words, if, and this is a very big if at this point, if Canada is let go, I certainly believe that it's either going to be Glenn Thomas or quarterback coach Mike Sullivan to be promoted.
You've been saying that since last year.
Mark my words.
Dude, you said that Mike Sullivan was going to be promoted once Canada leaves last year, before our bye week last year.
Ultimately, I think Sullivan is the next guy in line because of the reputation that they have laid out for OCs the past few years since Haley left. Randy Fichtner, quarterback coach, promoted. Matt Canada, quarterback coach, promoted. Who's the next guy in line? Mike Sullivan, our quarterback coach.
It's going to be an apparent.
And why is that? Why is it? Does Tomlin think, he's working closely with the quarterback? Maybe he can work together with the whole offensive unit, get things going. That hasn't worked. That hasn't done jack. That's done jack shit.
That's why we're so outdated, man. It's a never-ending cycle. And that's why we've been dead last in the offense for years now. For 4 or 5 years now. It's been terrible.
And that's a problem.
A big problem. So I don't know why they don't even entertain the idea.
It can't hurt.
It can hurt.
Like, what is the problem bringing this guy in as a consultant mid-season to aid the offense, aid the players, give his input?
Yeah, I don't understand why they.
Does Tomlin just not want it? Is it his ego or something? Like, what is it?
I have no idea.
Is he just that confident? Maybe that's another thing. Them ignoring Leftwich is just, just further proves that they have too much confidence in Canada. Maybe that's another thing.
They're the only people in the world that have that much confidence in Canada. Let me tell you. Jesus, I don't understand it. But that's just bad, man. But that just goes to show you, like, our coordinators are terrible, and the Steelers want to do nothing about it. I don't even think after this season they're going to do anything about it. They might get rid of Canada since his contract is up. I don't think they're going to get rid of Austin. I think they should. He hasn't done great this year. He's been terrible. He's been putting players in bad positions. He's failing to play his rookies, which are needed because of poor play and injuries.
Yeah.
Our defense is really bad. Again, you take away Highsmith and Watt and their plays and their touchdowns and their sacks, this defense is nothing. Because what I saw versus the Ravens, with Lamar Jackson at quarterback, splash play, chunk yardage, first down. We are lucky they had 8 drops. We're lucky they left so many points off the board.
We're lucky JPJ was able to get the interception.
Exactly.
On Lamar Jackson.
Exactly. Who made the plays on defense and who saved us on the defense? The guys that really matter. The guys that actually make the plays. JPJ, Watt, Highsmith.
But outside of that, exactly who we have. Even Minka Fitzpatrick has been quiet. He hasn't really done anything except get a couple, drive-saving tackles. Again, playing fifth linebacker.
Exactly. He's playing like his 2021 self.
The man leads the team in tackles. A free safety.
Yeah, that's a problem. That's a problem. Quan Alexander isn't far behind him, but he's a rotational piece. Not even a starter. Roberts and Holcomb are starters. And they've been solid.
Yeah, exactly.
Holcomb's not blowing me away. Roberts is good in the run game, but obviously,
Hey, wait. Before you say it, get ready to see Landon Roberts cover Cooper Kupp after the bye.
I don't even think that's a Terrell Austin issue. That's a Mike Tomlin issue. Because we saw that when Keith Butler was the defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
And then Keith Butler admitted, hey, Tomlin's calling the plays.
Yeah.
I wish I could have.
Yeah.
I wish I could have called some of the plays. That's what he said after he retired last offseason before we promoted Terrell Austin. That's a Mike Tomlin issue. Putting linebackers on receivers. Why?
Like he always had Vince Williams on AJ Green.
Keenan Allen, Michael Thomas.
Or Robert Spillane on fucking Devontae Adams. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, yeah, that's going to make the play.
So we're going to see Landon Roberts against Cooper Kupp come week 6. And no, I do not trust this secondary. I do not trust the defense to slow down Stafford, Kupp, and Puka Nacua. They've been lighting the league up right now.
Or even their rushing offense, because they got who's their
Kyron
back?
Williams.
Yeah, even he's been lighting up the league. He's been doing good since they traded away Cam Akers.
Yeah.
What are we doing a fucking Rams preview, for God's sake?
Well, I just look at an offensive-minded genius like Sean McVay, and I look at and the way we game plan against the offenses like that. I don't like the vision there already.
We're already looking ahead at that game.
I'm supposed to enjoy the bye week, not look ahead to next week. But here we are.
That's just the stance of where this team is, despite being 3-2, first place in the AFC North,
and coming off a win versus a division rival. We are 2-0 against the division, against the Browns and the Ravens, which feels good. But it's not without similar mistakes. It's not without poor play. It's not without poor coaching. It's not without just edging out victories by the skin of our ass. Swear jar.
No, and I don't know how anybody could be satisfied with such a thing. You're fine with just escaping and edging out victories. That's not going to get you anywhere in the league.
And I have no feeling that we're going to see a lot of changes after the bye, because first of all, there's no changes now.
No, there hasn't
been.
And the
only most realistic change we could see is the fact that the rookies should see more playing time. But will they? I don't know. Dan Moore should come back next week healthy. Is he going to be the starter? If he is, why?
I would not.
Why would you sit Broderick Jones?
I would not have Broderick Jones sit again.
How can you watch Levi Wallace and continue to start him over Joey Porter Jr.? Why won't you play Keanu Benton on 3 downs? Why won't you see Darnell Washington in the run game more? I don't understand it. Makes no sense to me, man. You got to play your rookies. Let them play. Stop cuffing them.
In a rookie class that was highly touted by not just us Steelers fans, but league-wide.
Yeah.
People are saying, if they play the cards right, if these guys make the plays and live up to the potential of where they were selected, it's going to go down as one of the best draft classes in Steelers history.
Yeah, it still can. It still can.
And thus far, the bright spots on this team outside of the obvious have been the rookies.
You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. And another bright spot of this team, who I think should, absolutely see more playing time. And, I think should see playing time over Najee is Jaylen Warren.
Jaylen Warren. Believe it or not, guys, I'm not sure if you guys know, Jaylen Warren, not that this is a bad thing, but I'm just throwing the stat out here. He's actually second on the team in receiving yardage.
Yeah.
Number 1, obviously, being George Pickens.
Right. Who has almost 400.
Yeah. That's our backup running back, quote unquote. And it showcases his dependability. It also showcases how many times we're constantly dicking and ducking to Jaylen Warren.
But you see the yardage he makes up, his yak ability, and there's just
his
shiftiness, and his explosiveness.
His hard running style, and just the fact that he never gives up on the play.
No.
Constantly. When he has the ball in his hands, good things happen.
Absolutely.
He is a diamond in the rough on the offense. He's a guy that needs to see more playing time. Even starts at running back.
I agree. He should absolutely see starts over Najee. That doesn't entirely mean bench Najee. All I'm saying is play Warren more. Let's see Warren get the majority of the playing time. You can still split them, obviously, like you have been doing. But just give Warren more playing time. And I think that would actually benefit Najee a little more. And the most thing that would absolutely benefit Najee is utilize his versatility. Use him in the receiving game.
Yeah.
Use him the same way you use Warren. That'll make him less predictable every time he comes onto the field. And not to discredit Jaylen Warren, but anytime he comes onto the field, defenses don't know what he's doing. Is he going to get the ball in the ground game, or is he going to be using the receiving game? Regardless, he has the burst, he has the explosiveness, he has that big chunk play ability.
But when Najee's on the football field,
it's so predictable.
Every time a second down, hand off to Najee. And God bless Najee, because when he has the ball in his hands, the man tries his best. He runs hard. He's not the most complete back. He's not the perfect back.
No, because he has mediocre vision and he's not explosive at all.
But I don't
He's very slow and sluggish. But he's still a very good and very productive running back. It's not his fault that every time he's on the field, the defense knows that he's getting the ball. The defense stacks the box with 8 or 9 guys.
Yeah.
And the Steelers continue to run with it. Why?
And Najee constantly has to fight off defenders, shed tackles, and even fucking go around offensive linemen and just try to gain yardage and everything like that.
My fear is if they use Warren the similar way they use Najee, the same thing's going to happen with Warren. The biggest point of using these running backs is utilizing the versatility. You're doing it properly with Warren. He's that nice change of pace. He's terrific. He is, like you said, a diamond in the rough, man. He is up there with Pickens as impactful for this offense.
At this point, yeah.
But you got to use Najee the same exact way. I would play Warren more because we are a little more productive when he's on the field. He's just he's getting ready to shot out of a cannon anytime he gets the football compared to Najee. They're just 2 different styles. They both have versatility upside.
But that don't
they're
mean
just both 2 different speed and style of runners.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean entirely take the carries away or entirely sit Najee. You can still use him the way you use Warren. It'll make him less predictable. It'll open up the run game a little more. And it might actually help Najee in the long haul.
Yeah. Considering he's got already enough traction on his legs from his college days and the NFL.
Yeah, he has a lot.
So getting some relief and giving it to Warren, that could benefit Najee's career.
Yeah.
That really could. And you can still use Najee in short yardage situations, goal line situations, because Najee can fight for that extra yard. He can fight for that touchdown if need be.
Yeah.
But it's funny because, if there's a slight positive I can give Matt Canada, the best thing about him and the thing that probably saved his job last year was his ability to scheme up a running attack. But even then this year, it's not working. It's been pretty much very predictable week in and week out.
Very predictable.
We have 0 rushing touchdowns thus far.
With a first-round running back and one of the more explosive change of pace backs in Jaylen Warren.
And that's a fucking problem. That's an issue. I don't know how the hell that was possible. That is possible.
That is terrible. That's a terrible stat. That's a shame, man, because these guys on the ground game work their asses off. There's been drives where Najee has ran his ass off after getting nothing all game. He's running pissed off.
Yeah.
He's working his ass off for what, 3 points? Barely? Jaylen Warren ran his ass off last week. 3 straight runs, 3 straight first downs. What did we get? A fucking field goal.
Yeah.
These guys are working their asses off
and
for minimal points.
We're not even getting a touchdown out of it. I feel so bad for these guys.
Makes no sense, man. Makes no sense. So they got to start utilizing Najee's versatility the same way they use Warren. It'll help him out. It'll help Warren out. It'll help this entire offense out. That's my fear, though, is they're going to continue to use Najee the way they've been using him. And they'll use Warren and his versatility. But if they want to revolt to Warren being used the way they use Najee, it's going to be a similar story with Najee that it was with Warren.
Yeah.
Or similar story with Warren that it is for Najee. Because although Warren is the more explosive back, he has that burst to him. If there's 8 or 9 guys stacking the box, you're not going to find much success. That's Najee's biggest problem. He's not the most perfect back. He's not terrific. I'm not going to lie to you. But he's very good.
He's very athletic. He's very dependable back there.
He can be very productive.
That's why we all fell in love with him when he was coming out of Alabama. That's why a majority of us wanted him to be a Steeler.
And yeah, there are times where you see Najee run the ball, you're like, why'd you just run into a pile? But at the same time, that's all he has.
Yeah.
He has 8 or 9 guys in the box, and he has nowhere to go. That's not all his fault at all.
Yeah. There's only so much the offensive line could really do. If the box is stacked, I mean, not everybody's going to get a freaking clean block.
No.
They're going to be pushed back. That's a lot of body. That's a lot of weight pushing you back. Najee's not going to get anywhere.
No.
If he's lucky.
So outside of our passing offense and defenses already knowing what we're going to do, anytime Najee comes onto the field, you know he's getting the football on the ground. Because we never use his versatility. If we were to mix up Warren and Najee and their snap count and just use Najee the way we use Warren, I think that's going to benefit a lot. It's going to make it might be a small change, but I think it'll lead to less predictability and potential more plays in the ground game. Maybe incorporate some play action
and some relief on Kenny Pickett too.
Yes, maybe incorporate some play action as well, which we don't see. When was the last time I saw a play action pass with Kenny Pickett under center? Or in this entire offense? Does Canada run play action? You can't fool a fucking defense if you don't run play action.
Well, according to his discussion with CBS, apparently his game plan, his run scheme, is a play action run. But I haven't noticed. I haven't seen it.
Who the fuck is he kidding?
I haven't seen it. It hasn't been effective. The game plan isn't effective from start to finish.
Who the hell is he kidding?
Whether we start the game with the ball or whether we're down 3 points, the game plan ain't working.
I don't recall one time this year watching the Steelers game and saying, snap, play action, Pickett drops back, goes deep. I never said that. I
don't recall.
There's no play action, bro. None at all. Makes no sense. Makes no sense at all. But I do think Warren should see more snaps, or the majority of the snaps. I think that they should just swap Najee and Warren snap count. Give more to Warren, but that doesn't mean bench Najee. That also doesn't mean lessen Najee's role.
Yeah.
Use them the same way. It's going to work in the long run. It's going to benefit both guys.
Yeah, but both guys have shown capabilities as both runners and receiving backs.
Yes.
I don't know why you got to limit one back while the other back's kind of doing the other one, both can do the same thing and be just as effective.
Yeah.
And benefit the offense and benefit Kenny Pickett. And benefit the red zone efficiency, you know what I mean? Like it's a big positive that we have seen on the offense, you know?
Yeah. So it makes no sense to me. It just hurts this rushing offense because it just makes us too predictable. And they haven't done nothing to change it. And I don't think they will, unfortunately. I think all this is just silly talk because I don't think any of this, is going to come true. The most realistic thing that we mentioned tonight is the rookies might see more playing time. Might. But I'm not banking on Broderick Jones being the starter the remainder of the year. I wouldn't be surprised if once Dan Moore is fully healthy, he's the starter again. I ask why. Terrell Austin already confirmed he's not ready to start. Joey Porter Jr. is not ready to start. Why not? Even if you don't think he's ready to start, how do you watch Wallace and make him the starter?
How do you watch Wallace and just be satisfied like, yeah, he's doing a good job? No, he's not. The two interceptions on the season don't mean shit.
Not. Rashad Bateman,
anybody could pick off Jimmy Garoppolo.
Rashad Bateman should have scored a touchdown on him if he could catch the ball.
Yeah. Bro, this guy couldn't cover a backup running back in Justice Hill.
No.
Like, for God's sake, get JPJ in there.
Seriously, man. Seriously. Anything else we want to touch on? Any other changes you can think of? Outside of firing Cannon, which isn't going to happen, playing the rookies, which may or may not happen, playing Warren a little more, and utilizing both of Najee and Warren's versatility in the backfield. And outside of using Desmond King and Elijah Riley in the slot, because that's going to help out the slot position. They are much more reliant to play the nickel role in our defense than Chandon Sullivan or even a Patrick Peterson, because they can blitz. They can work in the ground game.
Yeah.
They can cover compared to the slot guys we have. Outside of that, anything else you can think of?
Just in general, there's a lot of changes that need to be done based off of where both the offense and the defense rank. Despite our record, despite where we stand, that don't mean jack shit. That don't mean we're a good team. We're not a good team.
No.
We're a team that's barely getting by. And we're a team that, throughout the season we'll still get victories. We'll still possibly contend in the playoffs, in the division and stuff like that. But, again, barely. And that's how it's been for the past number of years. And nothing's really changed. As a matter of fact, it's gotten worse.
Yeah, it has.
I don't know how many times we have to constantly say it and repeat ourselves, but it's the God-honest truth. We're not a good team. Take the record, take the first place in the division, and forget about it. Don't let that fog your mind of what this team truly is, and the fact that this team has problem after problem, and they have to make change after change. But as of yet, they haven't made any changes. They haven't made one bit of change.
So
they haven't lifted one ounce of any effort to do any change.
So our message to all you guys in the Steelers Nation is, although we're first place in the division, which says more about our division than it does us, the Steelers. Okay, keep that in mind. Okay. We're not first place in the division because we're good.
No, we're first place in the division because the division this year is ass.
So even though we're first place in the division, we're coming off a win versus a divisional rival. We're 3-2 somehow, right? My message to you guys is, do not let this fog your mind. Do not let this distract you. Do not let this blind you. Nothing is going to happen. Nothing is going to change. We are not going to improve. We are not going farther than what we have already gone.
We're not going far. We're not going far.
If we somehow manage, we're not even go. We might get there, but we'll slide right back down that hill. The second we take a step forward to go any higher, we're gonna fall and just roll down the hill. Bad.
It's like climbing Mount Everest. As soon as you think you're gonna get to the top, you slip and fall. And just at any moment, that's where the Steelers are at right now.
Go. George, it's not only 5 games, bro. It's been 4 fucking years.
George, what the hell are you talking about?
It's been 4 fucking years.
What the hell are you talking about? Me and Dan don't fucking forget.
It's been 4 fucking years, bro. It's not 5 games. I'm telling you right now, and you can clip this And you could, if they prove me wrong, okay, this can be a bad take on my part, and I'll gladly eat my words. But I'm telling you right now, man, don't let anything that has happened the past few days cloud your mind. Nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to get better. Nothing's going to happen with the Steelers team.
No.
Why? Why do I say that? Because how many years do we see the same thing year in and year out? How many wins do we go in and go out of and say, man, that was an ugly win, but I'll take it? How far have we gone with the coordinators that we've had for how many years?
Name me the last time you were truly satisfied and content with a victory by the Steelers.
Oh, he says I agree with you. That's not what I meant. Okay. I must have interpreted your words. My bad.
Our apologies if that's the case. But
I'm
stands.
I'm seeing a lot of fans be clouded right now. And all I have to look back at is, man, you know, we have the same guys in power that we've had for years, and we haven't won shit. So why should I expect any greater change? Why should I expect any higher win percentage? Why should I expect anything better than what we've already succeeded at? It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that, dude. I'm not happy with our coordinators for the past 4 or 5 years, says George. Man, we agree with you there.
Yeah.
The coordinator position needs a clean sweep after the season.
Both. OC, DC needs a clean sweep. Tomlin needs to open up his freaking mentality. He needs to change it. He needs to open it. He needs to completely change everything. He needs to go out of his freaking comfort zone. The entire Steelers do.
Yeah.
I'm even talking about ownership and Art Rooney the second. They need to go out of their comfort zone, and they have to go with what the NFL is about nowadays.
Yes.
You can't keep going into an NFL season year in, year out thinking you're going to win like you did in the old days. It's not the old days anymore.
No. That's why this team is so outdated, man. So outdated.
You gotta get with the times. You gotta get with the times.
It's bad, man. It's really bad.
And I hate to say it. But ever since Dan Rooney died,
Oh yeah, I know.
this team died.
I know. I'm aware. How can Pickett improve? Well, by being Kenny Pickett. As Mike Tomlin as that sounds, truthfully, Kenny Pickett can only improve by himself.
Yeah.
There are things that coaching cannot teach. There are things that coaching cannot fix. In fact, you know what? I think that's a good transition. Let's talk about Kenny Pickett for the first half of the season, man, the first 5 weeks. Kenny Pickett has been dog shit.
Hasn't looked good.
He has not been good at all. Not even the slightest glimpse of a jump in year 2. The jump is so bad that if he jumped on a trampoline, he wouldn't go anywhere.
Kenny Pickett currently, as we're at the bye, isn't even subpar at this point. Like,
No.
Kenny Pickett has not taken that leap of faith.
His accuracy is bad. His pocket movement, patience, awareness, pocket everything, bad. He abandons the pocket way too much.
Yeah, motioning out the pocket all the time. The scanning of the field is very inconsistent. Constantly staring down one target. You know, his decision making is very inconsistent, very bad. The man has 5 touchdowns and 4 interceptions so far.
Yeah, for a year 2 quarterback. That's not good. That's not good.
No, the first round, year 2 quarterback.
And you can't just blame Canada. You can't just blame the O-line. We discussed this, I think it was last week or something. But Pickett has been bad, man, and it's only him to fix it. There are things that coaching can fix. We bring in a new coordinator. He sees what Canada was having him do. He sees what Kenny was doing under Canada. He's like, hey, man, this is what he had you doing. We're not going to run that. This is where you failed. This is where your bad habits come into play. This is what we're going to fix. This is what we're going to turn into a positive. That's what coaching can fix. Is he's going to see what Canada was doing with Pickett and be like, nah, we're going to erase all that.
But as far as how he's performing on the field, that stuff Kenny Pickett, the man himself, must fix.
The quarterback himself.
He needs to change all that. Because how he's been performing is very evident week in and week out. It's not getting any better. It's the same thing constantly And it's not getting us down the field. It's not getting us points on the board.
In fact,
It's barely winning us games.
and I would say most of the sacks that he's been sacked have been majority his fault.
Allowed by him because he's panicking in the pocket. Him motioning outside the pocket when he's going for a pass. I mean, he's going right towards the freaking defender 9 times out of 10.
Yeah.
He's giving the defender the easiest sack the man could probably ever get in his career.
Yeah.
Kenny Pickett, man.
Kenny has been very underwhelming, to say the least. We expected some jump, and he has done none of that.
And currently, he's the guy at quarterback. And at the end of the day, he is our quarterback because he's the man under center.
And he's going to be the quarterback. So there's no benching Kenny. There's none of this. They're not going to do that.
But that doesn't mean we can't be concerned about the guy, about the man that we all are hoping is the heir to Big Ben, the franchise of this company.
And I'm very concerned with Kenny right now, man. I'm very concerned with
the
Kenny
franchise
right
of this team. Like, this is what we all want. But it's concerning because he's not living up to it. Yeah, he's in his second year. Yeah, Canada, all this and that. The man's 25 years old. We got other quarterbacks younger than him already in the NFL that have already transitioned to the NFL level.
Yeah.
This man is 25, and he's barely at half of that.
Hell, you look at Pickett was the first quarterback drafted last year. Brock Purdy was the last quarterback drafted last year. Brock Purdy is way better than Pickett is right now.
Oh, he's throwing. He's just dropping bombs, connecting with his targets, touchdown after touchdown. He's finishing drives, getting points on the board, man. Brock Purdy has yet to throw a pick this year.
No. And he has the best system anyone could ask for. He has, a great offense, a great offensive mind, great coaching, but you can't discredit anything Brock Purdy's doing.
Absolutely not.
Compared to what Pickett is doing, it's way different.
No.
It's way different.
The only thing Pickett can really hold his hat on is the game-winning drives that he already has to his resume. In 17 career starts, Kenny Pickett has been able to bring the Steelers back to 5 game-winning drives.
Most recently versus the Ravens.
Which is good. It's good because it shows how dependable and how much he shows up in moments like that. That's the type of guy that we want. But I do have to say, why should it always have to lead to such a thing where we need him to get us out of that moment of being down and.
Well, that's the state of this team in general.
And another thing, it makes you ask. He's able to do that on game-winning drives, but where is he for the other 3 quarters? Where is he the whole game?
Yeah, because that was last week. That was this week versus the Ravens. He didn't do nothing the first 3 quarters, and then all of a sudden one drive he wants to just call for a protection shift on the right side and change Pickens' route and go deep because he saw cover 0, which is good. You want him to recognize the defense like that. That's something that the offense practiced this week. Everyone actually confirmed that, even Canada.
Yeah.
Why Canada still was expressionless, I don't know. We can hilariously
Mark him.
put theories out there, but
Yeah.
regardless, Pickett has shown some of the potential, but
It's not all there.
it's not all there, and frankly, I haven't seen much of it this year.
It's not all there for the full game. It's there in certain moments, especially the game-winning drives. But he's got to be there for the whole damn game,
Yeah.
the whole damn show, and he's not doing it right now. He's not. Simple as that.
Yeah, he shout to stay of the Steelers. How you doing, bro? He says, the biggest disappointment for me was Houston. When I broke down film, Stroud processed faster, saw the field better, and flat out had more arm talent. Kenny's release is way too slow. It is. And I question his arm strength.
Yeah. That's another thing. That's another thing coming out of Pittsburgh was, does he have the arm to
Right.
launch in the NFL?
Right.
Does he have that arm power? Hasn't really showcased that much.
There are things that coaching cannot fix. There are things coaching can scheme around to make it productive, but we're going to need a hell of an offensive genius to do that. Kenny himself is going to have to fix a lot. As a film junkie, as a guy that wants to remain on the film and wants to be great and craves success, he craves success, I want to trust the guy to better himself, but so far I've seen no improvement. And that doesn't make me a Kenny Pickett hater. It doesn't. It's just tough love. I want to see the guy succeed.
Yeah.
All the criticism we say about the Steelers is just tough love. Of course we want to see the team succeed. That's why we root for the team. That's why we buy the merchandise. That's why I wanted, although the game was poor, it was ugly. That's why I still wanted the Steelers to win versus the Ravens.
At the end of the day, that's all we want. But at the same time, you can't just...
Facts are facts.
Yeah, and you can't just exit the game, escape the game with barely a victory.
And let that blind you heading into the second half of the season. So, again, man, final message tonight would be don't let anything blind you. This team has made no changes. There's no reason to think they will make changes. So nothing's going to really change. And just hold on for the ride because we shouldn't expect any drastic improvement that we've already seen the past few years. You know what I mean? And success and in performance.
Yeah.
It's just going to be the same thing. It's going to be the same thing week in and week out. So there's not going to be a lot of crazy success. There's not going to be a lot of promise shown outside of maybe individual performances. That's it. The way I see it, as long as Pickens, Highsmith, and Watt stay healthy, we're going to try to etch out wins the best we can.
Yeah,
That's it.
But knock on wood for those guys, seriously. Now, another thing is we will be getting some players back off IR. A guy like Deontay Johnson, he will be coming back for the Rams game. Anthony McFarland, I think he's coming back. You know, that can help in special teams and the return game there.
Yeah.
Hayward's due back next month. You know, that's the positive about this bye week. You know, some players will be coming back for the next game, the Rams game.
Yeah.
But even then, you know, they're just there because of how the team is performing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Kenny has the clutch gene you can't coach. Now he needs to play the first 58 minutes as well as the last two, says Ben V. You're right.
You're right.
You're right. You can't take away his game-winning drives. That's the potential. That's what sold us last year, right? So as long as he can get everything under control or everything down, then we could have a very steady quarterback.
Yeah, Dion says Muth too. Yeah, Muth's supposed to be back.
Muth, but is he getting
again? These players coming back. Like, yeah, it's a positive, but at the same time, their usage is so mishandled. So it's like, does it matter if they're back? Muth,
dude. I look at Muth, and it's not Muth's fault. It's not Muth's fault. He's so underutilized.
It just doesn't make sense to have him be the blocking tight end when you have Washington for that.
And although Muth has 2 touchdowns this year, he doesn't even have 100 yards.
No. He doesn't even have 10 catches, dude. Not even 10.
When I think of Muth coming back, it's good. Kenny has another target, but I also envision, does it make a fucking difference?
We don't use him.
Used properly.
We don't use him. Deontay, yeah, he'll cause separation. He's another handy wide receiver. He should help with George Pickens, get some pressure off Pickens, and help Pickens out there on the other side of the field.
Yeah, Deontay coming back is going to be good. That's going to help out Pickens.
That should help. But it also matters on Deontay having to make the plays, too.
Well, Deontay can.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think Deontay's a little underutilized as well. But I also look at how Pickens has been since Deontay's been out. 200-yard games. It's been explosive.
Yeah.
2 touchdowns.
I think he leads all year 2 wide receivers.
And receiving yards.
Yeah, already.
So I look at Pickens in the same in an offense that's ranked 30th. And he has 200-yard games since Deontay's been out. I mean, I look at that, and I'm like, man, Pickens is showing that wide receiver 1 potential.
Yeah.
He doesn't have everything down yet. He doesn't have things Deontay has, but Deontay also doesn't have things Pickens has.
Mm-hmm.
Wide receivers are very specific. Every wide receiver is different. There's some that have it all. There's some that are good at one thing, and some that are good at another. But that's why they complement each other so well.
Yeah.
So getting Deontay back is going to be good. With Muth, I want to say that, but we don't utilize him.
No.
It's unfortunate because he's a good receiving threat. He really is. I think him and Kenny have a hell of a connection. We saw that last year. So I don't know why we don't utilize him.
I don't get it either.
That's why Cannon needs to go, man. But he won't. Thomas Israel says, move on from Pickett, 1-year college wonder, get Coach Canada a competent quarterback that can execute plays. I bet Patrick Mahomes or Brock Purdy would shine like diamonds in Canada's offense. No. Have you seen
Thomas,
Have you seen this guy's offense?
I'm gonna have to respectfully disagree on Mahomes and Purdy would shine like diamonds in Canada's offense. No, they wouldn't.
Canada cannot scheme up a competent offense.
No way. No
This guy
way.
admitted that this offense is not capable of coming back from leads.
Essentially, doesn't matter who you have in here. Doesn't matter who you have at quarterback. They would not shine. Canada doesn't need a quarterback. Canada needs to get out of here. That's what he needs.
Right.
That's what we need to do. Everybody and their grandmother wants this guy gone.
Dude, just look at the passing sheets from Ben, Kenny, Mason, and Mitch.
No different.
No difference.
No difference.
So what makes you think that Patrick Mahomes or Brock Purdy or Jalen Hurts or whoever you want to throw in there would be better in this offense? No, they wouldn't. No, they wouldn't. Kenny wasn't supposed to have a high ceiling. His floor was supposed to be close to his ceiling. If that's the case, it's going to be a rough ride, boys. Well, in that case, he should have been drafted second or third round, probably second. Even then, that's because at that point, as a first rounder, you anticipate him to be an elite quarterback. You tend to get, what you pay for.
Yeah.
In that grade, right? That's why a lot of people didn't like Edmonds because we drafted him in the first round. He wasn't an impactful safety. He didn't make a lot of plays, but he had his own style of safety.
Yeah.
If he was drafted day 2, there wouldn't be as much complaints.
Probably not. No.
Same thing with Kenny. That's the big problem we have with Kenny now is he's a first-round quarterback. We expect elite play. I'm starting to think we're not going to get elite play from Kenny. If he's going to improve, if he's going to do anything decent, if he's going to do anything successful, then I think coaching is going to have to mold the offense capable around him. I don't think he's going to be an elite quarterback right now. He's not showing that.
No.
Otherwise, he would have taken a significant jump. Kenny, in my eyes, right now, is not going to be an elite quarterback. He's going to have to be a serviceable guy that can get us by, and depending on if we get a decent coordinator, scheme it around him to work with his strengths.
It's just not happening right now.
But in that case, I don't know, man. In that case, the first round grade just seems a little overdrafted, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. It's not hard to see why.
I'm really starting to have some doubts about Kenny, man. It's disappointing. It's really disappointing. I want to see what he can do in his third year with a better OC,
yeah,
a better coaching, a better offensive scheme, someone outside the organization, right? I know everyone's always pitching, let's get the Panthers OC that he was with for so many years. No. We gotta stop. That's the problem with this coaching staff, is everyone's familiar with each other. That doesn't mean success.
No.
Tomlin was familiar with Fichtner and Butler, and guess what? Guess where it got us?
And now there's these rumors, supposedly, that John Gruden may be next in line because Tomlin was under his coaching tree, so Tomlin may want to bring in John Gruden. John Gruden is never getting back in the NFL.
No, John Gruden's NFL coaching run is done. He's not even going back to commentating. This guy is done.
After everything that came out,
this guy is done.
He is never getting back in the NFL.
No one's taking a chance on this guy. And frankly,
no one wants that heat. No one wants that problem. No one wants that drama.
No one wants that headache. And frankly, he is probably the most overrated coach of all time. He sucks. He fucking sucks.
honestly, the statement or the argument we have about Tomlin winning with cowards coaches and cowards players, you say the same thing about John Gruden with Tony Dungy's players and his coaches.
Yeah.
That man took Tony Dungy's team and won the Super Bowl. And Tomlin was right under that staff.
Yep.
And so, Tomlin pretty much did exactly what happened with Gruden is exactly what happened with Tomlin.
Will KP be an elite quarterback or a good game manager? I think his ceiling right now is a good game manager. Almost like a...
I don't know, who are you thinking?
Jimmy G.
Oh boy.
Almost like a Jimmy G. He's not elite. He's not elite. He's not a franchise guy. He is someone that'll be with your team for about maybe 4 or 5, maybe 6 years max. Almost like he was with the Niners, right? He'll get you. He's serviceable. He's going to need weapons around him. He's going to need a good offensive, competent coaching scheme to work in his strengths. That's what's going to help Kenny, in my eyes now, until I see significant jump in Kenny in many assets.
Right.
That's how I feel with Kenny now. Bethberg says, we in trouble next week against the Rams. I'm not looking forward to that, bro. I don't trust his defense at all. And knowing we can't come back from leads, I don't like that game. Plus, it's in the West Coast.
Yeah.
It's a 4 o'clock game. Tomlin has a terrible resume there. That sucks. What do you think about the O-line coach? Cut him. Get rid of him.
Pat Meyer.
Get rid of this entire offensive scheme. OC, O-line coach, everything. It all sucks.
Everything is stale. Everything needs torn apart, burned down, have the ashes pissed on, all that.
Everything
sucks, needs
man.
changed, revamped, redone, remodeled. Everything is not good.
In fact, I'm curious if there's somehow, some way, we could fetch Bill Callahan from the Browns. He's their O-line coach. Look what he's done for them.
Yeah.
I don't know when his contract is up with the Browns. I don't know if we can even lateral. Is that tampering? Unless we ask for permission. Would the Browns grant us it? Probably not. But I'd love to interview him, the lateral for O-line coach. I would love to bring him in as our O-line coach. Whether his contract's up or we can grant permission or we can get granted permission.
Yeah.
I'd love that. Bring him in as the O-line coach. Bill Callahan.
Devin says Mike Munchak. I would like nothing more than to bring him back home.
Yeah.
To Pittsburgh. Have him work with Broderick Jones, Isaac Sayamalu, James Daniels. I hope maybe a new and better center next year. Maybe a new and better right tackle next year. Of what he did with the Goon Squad. Turning a defensive end into a Pro Bowl left tackle. That's all you need to know. Alejandro Villanueva.
Mm-hmm.
What Munchak was able to do. That experiment. Holy crap.
State of the Steelers says, I have credible source that stated the Steelers put out feelers for play callers. This was just before the Vegas game. Interesting.
Okay. That is interesting.
Maybe that's why they didn't fire him yet, because they're waiting on someone to kind of bite on that.
You had to do it before the Raiders game? Come on, Steelers.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how anyone in this organization watched Canada.
No, but they're ignoring Byron Leftwich. Okay. Put out feelers and Leftwich like, hey, I want to come in and help. Remember me, Coach T? I backed up for your quarterback, man. Remember me? You know, I'm looking for a job. I'm looking to help you guys out. I see you guys are having some issues.
Yeah.
We do not care.
Essentially.
Can't
Can't give that man a shot. Can't give that man a try. Get his feet wet back into the NFL. Can't hurt.
Tomlin can't yell fire in less than a paragraph. He shoots his mouth off saying nothing. He should be doing magic tricks in Vegas because his coaching is a freaking mirage, says Bernie. When is Ant Mac back? He should be back. Is he on IR?
Yeah, but I think he was put on IR about the same time as Deontay. So he should be back for the Rams game as our main primary kick returner.
Please, for the love of God.
Because even in that Niners game, you know, although it was very, you know, a little bit of action there, you know, McFarland, you know, he was getting some positive kick return yardage.
Yeah,
so.
I like what I saw. I agree. DJ should up the offense, but it won't matter if Canada's calling plays. Exactly. That's how I feel. It's like, yeah, it's good to have him back. It's going to open some things, but that's why I'm so impressed with Pickens right now. In this offense, with this coordinator, ranked 30th. He's had 200-yard games since Deontay's been out. That's impressive.
Yeah.
That's impressive. I can't tell you the last time Deontay had a 100-yard receiving game.
Did he ever get one last year? I don't think he did.
Know. Probably not.
I don't think he did.
Tell him by his stats. I don't think so.
He didn't get a touchdown. I don't think he ever got a 100-yard game last year.
He might have, but barely. I don't know.
I have to check that out, but I can't recall, to be honest.
Yeah.
I really can't.
I don't know, man. But that shows you Pickens is a lot more impactful. There's just certain...
He's a different breed as well.
He is.
He's a legit dog. That bulldog, man.
I heard one was another former quarterback that turned it down who recently brought up some interesting comments on his last podcast. Are you talking about Ben? Are you talking about Ben?
That's the only one I can think of, say the Steelers.
I haven't listened to his footballing podcast in a couple weeks, so I might have to. In fact, I got it on Spotify. Did he upload the latest? Because that's something I can listen to at work tomorrow.
I mean, yeah, Ben, I get that, sure, but I mean, I feel like the man just needs to step away from football.
Yeah, frankly,
step away from the field.
I love Ben to death. That's my quarterback for life. But frankly, I'm ready to move on. I've been ready to move on. I was ready to move on after 2020.
I don't really think bringing Ben in is the answer, and I don't think it's really the way to go.
I think people need to move on from that, man. Everyone says bringing Ben is OC. It's like, just let it go, bro. Let it go. Let it go. Like, it's actually kind of annoying.
Let him stay away.
It's kind of annoying, actually.
Let him stay away, be with his family, relax, have fun with his podcast with Spence. Let him do what Ben wants to do.
What do you think about trading for Mecole Hardman? I heard the Jets want to trade him. Well, they just didn't the Jets just trade for a receiver? Or am I thinking of another team?
No, they didn't.
Who got Van Jefferson?
That was the Falcons.
Okay, yeah, okay.
That was the Falcons. That's what it was.
What's the difference? What is his contract? Because I'd love to bring him in because we need someone better than Gunner as a receiver. And let me tell you, Mecole Hardman has zero production. Let me see his contract.
Yeah, that man got a lot of hype coming out of Georgia.
He's a Georgia Bulldog.
He got a lot of hype.
He signed a 1 year, $4 million contract. Oh, shit. It's cheap. Dirt cheap. We can afford that.
If you want to trade late capital you got from the Kendrick Green trade or the Kevin Dotson trade, get rid of Gunner and bring him in. Hey, why the hell not?
I'm bringing in Hardman.
Why the hell not? Get him out of here.
I'm bringing in Hardman.
It gets Gunner out of here. You know, it can't hurt. It can't hurt.
Has anyone heard about Devin Bush? No.
Actually, I'm interested. I'm really interested.
I'm not interested. I'd rather not.
Let me just take a look. Seahawks team. He's not a starter.
No shit.
He's second string behind Jordan Brooks.
What's he got? Like 2 tackles? 1 tackle.
1.
He's downgraded to special teams. He sucks.
Hey, but he's still in the NFL. At 25 years old, Bush.
We need to
Good for you.
We need to hire a coordinator from the 49ers. We need someone from Shanahan or McVay's coaching tree. That's why we pitched the idea for. He's the Panthers OC now. Is it Thomas Brown?
He was the tight end coach previously for the Rams.
Plus the assistant head coach.
Yeah.
I think it's Thomas Brown. Is that his name? Yeah, Thomas Brown. He was under McVay's coaching tree. He's now the Panthers OC, and they're not doing much because they also don't have anything. But that's who I wanted this offseason. I wanted Thomas Brown. I know I entertained Mike McDaniels before he was promoted to OC for the Niners. Before obviously he became the head coach for the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Because at that point he was the running back coach, I believe.
Yeah. Running game coordinator or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever it was. Yeah. Whatever that role was. Yeah.
Any Broncos on your mind? Outside of Surtain, no one. But are they going to trade him? And if they do, how much?
Well, I'd have to imagine, considering he's in his, second year, third year?
I forget. There's so many good...
It's third year, right?
There's so many good prospects that come out. I forget when they came out.
It's 2021 he was selected, right? He was top 10. I know that. Yeah, because they picked him over Justin Fields. I remember that.
Yeah. Yeah, he was knocked overall.
Yeah.
2 years ago.
Yeah, so considering, the risk of not taking a quarterback at that point, and how far or how high they drafted them, they're probably going to want a lot back. But I don't know if... See, Denver's fucking weird. They traded all this for Russell Wilson, and they traded all this for Sean McVay, and they have practically nothing to show for it, so they're looking to pretty much clean house at this point. It's fucking weird. Like, the Broncos, man. Like, they are on one hell of a fucking ride, aren't they? My God.
Broncos country. Let's ride. Yeah, but
Listen. I wouldn't hate getting Surtain. It's just the price.
no, I love PS2, but yeah, you're right. And I don't know if that's even credible. We'll see. Do you guys see?
Swear jar? Yeah, my bad.
Did you guys see they're starting to put Jaylen? Oh damn it, I lost it. Give me a minute. Did you guys see they're starting to put Jaylen and Najee on the field at the same time? Yes, they're starting to get. I think it was Warren in some motion pre-snap, which I think is good. And start utilizing Najee the same way, because it's Warren that's in motion and Najee's in the backfield. Well, why don't we just swap the fucking roles? I know Najee's not fast and explosive. He's as slow as pancake mix. Biz quick to be exact. But, God, that'll help him so much. Sent you a private message on Twitter about it, but from what I heard was that there were a lot of players upset about Canada. We're surprised he came back. Coach T didn't want him back. It was Art Rooney II. Of course it was, because he makes the last fucking decision. He admitted in his interview he did, I think it was with Missy Matthews on Steelers.com.
Yeah.
That he don't want to ruin him and Kenny's
Chemistry.
Yeah. So if that's the case, Mike Tomlin has no control.
If that is true. And also goes to show Art Rooney is not listening to Steelers Nation, and he doesn't care.
Yeah. That's a problem.
And that is
which
a
means
serious
we are
problem.
under terrible ownership.
Under terrible ownership.
We are under terrible ownership.
That is a serious problem. I don't trust Rooney.
Jaylen Johnson from the Bears is on the block. Steelers had him on their radar in free agency. Yeah. I'd like to have him.
That's right, they did.
I'd like to have him. I always thought he was decent. I didn't think it was number one like the Bears were anticipating, but him opposite JPJ would be nice.
No, he's serviceable. He'd be very serviceable. I mean, I wouldn't hate it.
Yeah, I love that.
Secondary sucks ass. Think it's going to take more than JPJ to start in, though. So, yeah, why not get another guy in there? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do they trade Wallace? Is that an option? Who would want to? Maybe Buffalo wants him back, considering what happened. You know, Buffalo's freaking signing Josh Norman to the team. Josh Norman's back in Buffalo. Maybe we ought to call Buffalo up like, hey, you want your boy back? You want your old corner back, considering Tre'Davious White's out for the year? You need secondary help? You know, I got a bunch of injuries on defense, Buffalo.
Hey,
you want an old member of that defense back?
McDermott knows him. It's not a bad idea.
Can't hurt to give him a call.
That's not a bad. I like that idea, man. Let's get rid of them.
Can't hurt.
Sooner we get that guy out, the better.
Wallace ain't going to stick with the team after this year.
No.
Get rid of him. Buffalo,
Man, Con,
Buffalo
get
can use him.
Get on the phone. Get on the phone right now with Buffalo. Y'all got history. That never happened because, you know, one guy refused to go there.
Yeah, catch that energy over here.
Yeah, catch the energy. Hey, Twins, just wanted to say that when Broderick Jones was in, Kenny looked the most comfortable in the pocket than he has all year so far. I feel like that can help turn things around in a big way for Kenny. I agree.
Yep.
I agree. That'll give him more confidence and more trust in the line. So I like that theory. Which is why he needs to start the rest of the year. He's not going to play perfect every game, but, I mean, you draft him for a reason. Why are you going to sit him now? Ryan Conley with $5 says, the Penguins lost last night because they would keep saying fire Canada. Well, they didn't lose because the fans kept saying fire Canada. They lost because Jari was signed to a 5-year extension for some fucking reason.
Yeah, I never
defense is still an issue.
I never understood, although we traded for the reigning defenseman of the league.
Yeah.
Of the year. But, yeah, I never understood Jari coming back. I never thought he was very consistent or even dependable at that. He has his moments, but again, it's not consistent.
How about trying to get Lincoln Riley from USC? They're going to bring someone in from the college. I mean, they did that with Canada. So maybe. I would like that. I would really like that.
I mean, what he's doing with Caleb Williams and that USC offense, I mean, it's explosive. Williams is on his way to another Heisman Trophy. If you want to consider that, sure. I mean, can't hurt, right?
Yep.
You know, Riley has a solid resume to him. So.
Art Rooney is so bad.
At this point, anything's an option.
Anything's better at this point.
Anything is better.
Art Rooney II is so bad, bro. Where is his father at where we need him? Well, unfortunately, he's up with his dad. So, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I hate seeing that smug attorney look on Rooney the second's face. Yeah. I don't trust him to run this team for the future. Even whenever Tomlin goes or retires or whatnot, I don't trust him to pick the right coach afterward. I don't. I'm saying that 3-4 years in advance.
If it takes that long.
I don't know. I don't want to say sell the team because you got to keep it in the family name.
No, you know.
But who else in the family is going to take over?
Isn't there another Rooney in there? Is it Dan? Dan Rooney?
Maybe.
Ain't he a scout or something? Or
Maybe.
was he?
Maybe.
I don't know if he's still a scout or not. But
I don't know.
I mean, Art's not giving up that position.
Do we miss James Daniels? When does he come back? He should be back for the Rams game. I wouldn't say James Daniels' absence has been noticeable, but it's obviously better when he's in there.
Yeah. I mean, Herbig's done solid. You know, he's filled the fill-in role very well, but James Daniels is definitely a big part of the O-line.
Yeah.
Big part.
Oh, he's director of player personnel.
That's what it is. That's what it is. Yeah. Yeah, there we go.
That's a good role to have. Why do you think they never hire big-name coaches or outsiders? I don't know. That is a terrific. I don't know.
Yeah, I always go with the unknowns. The people from within.
Why do they never sign the big? See, they used to. They used to do their scouting, which is why they brought in a Bill Cowher, which is why they brought in
Before that, Chuck Noll.
Bruce Arians.
Before that, Chuck Noll.
Yeah.
Chuck Noll was the DC for the Baltimore Colts.
Yeah.
In the Super Bowl, where they lost to the Jets.
But you notice
But you knew Chuck Noll.
Do you notice there's a trend though?
Yeah.
And this is exactly why I say that I don't trust Art Rooney II in making the next coaching decision whenever Tomlin goes, for whatever reason that is.
Yeah.
You notice a trend with our last 3 head coaches: defensive coordinator, defensive coordinator.
And they came from coaching trees. Because who was the Baltimore Colts coach
I don't know.
during that Super Bowl? I can't remember. He's a legendary coach.
I'm not worried about the coaching trees. I'm just
No,
talking
but I'm
about
saying they came from that. They came from that.
Well, sure, but I'm not talking about that. I'm basing it just
But
based
it's part
off
of the discussion. It's part of where they came from.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Not just of what they were before.
It's truly a massive part.
But
You're right.
where they came, because Bill Cowher came from Brian Schottenheimer's coaching tree.
Yeah.
He was a big part in getting Cowher into coaching. As soon as Cowher retired from playing football, he called up Cowher like, I want you to be my special teams coordinator.
Yep.
And then when Schottenheimer went to the Chiefs after being fired by the Browns, fucking Cowher followed, then got promoted to DC.
Yep.
And then the rest is history. You get what I'm saying?
Tomlin was obviously a DB coach and then a defensive coordinator for the Vikings, I believe.
Yeah.
He was a DB coach for the Bucks when they won the Super Bowl
Yeah.
with Barber and all them, right? Fucking John Lynch.
Yeah, some solid resumes there, but who do we have now? I mean, like,
But that's where my concern comes in. Is rarely in the NFL now does a defensive coordinator in today's league succeed as a head coach. Most recently, most successful, Sean McDermott. But now you need an offensive-minded guy
yeah,
because that's the league we have adapted into. McVay, Daniels, Shanahan. What's his name? Stefanski.
eventually Bieniemy will be a head coach. No doubt in my mind, eventually he'll be a
The
head
Bengals coach. I forget his name.
Zach Taylor.
Yeah, him.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, you get the gist. You get the point.
yeah. Byron Leftwich isn't a future Hall of Famer. When did we ever say Byron Leftwich was a future Hall of Famer?
He ain't no Hall
Who
of
said that?
Famer.
Who said that?
He ain't no Hall of Famer.
Who said that? He ain't no Hall of Famer. The fuck? Hell no. Hell no. Bruce Arians is a future Hall of Famer, not him. Anyone know why Jaylen Warren is not our running back 1? Because they drafted a running back in the first round. That's why. That's why. Although I think Warren should be the RB1.
Got to get him on the field more.
They want someone who doesn't challenge them. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Probably because Tomlin doesn't want to sign anyone who would threaten his job. Exactly. Yeah. I don't know if that's an ego thing or if it's like a.
It just might be an ego thing.
I don't want to throw anything out there, but it's like, and that's why he's promoted DCs the last few years because he can control the defense.
He's promoted
confirmed
people.
that.
He's promoted people that are under his wing, that are his guys.
Yeah.
He's not gonna worry or care too much to go outside and bring in an already established man or a guy that could create a continued legacy.
Exactly.
It might be an ego thing, and if that's the case, I mean, Jesus
it might
Christ,
be ego,
Tomlin.
but I don't know. I don't want to throw that out there, but
I mean, explain to me why he's constantly doing what he's been doing and his mentality. Like, how can you explain it?
yeah.
It doesn't make sense when it hasn't worked.
It should have been obvious how ignorant Tomlin was when he promoted Sean Serrett when Munch left. Yeah, that was bad. Dude, that's all they've done with coaches.
Yeah, remember? Yeah, Sean Serrett. He was the assistant offensive line coach to Munchak.
Yeah.
And then, if I remember correctly, after Serrett left,
Adrian
Clem, who was the assistant offensive line coach to Serrett, became
All
our
they've
O-line
done
coach.
is promote. Like, stop promoting.
There hasn't been one.
Do your fucking research and go grab someone.
Every other coordinator has just
Treasurer.
been
I'm out of
just
coins.
been promoted.
I'm out of coins.
OC, O-line, DC, like, my God.
Hey, what's wrong with hockey? I'm Canadian. Oh, no, we're not talking about Canada or Canadian players, bro. We're just talking about Canada and not the country or the ethnicity. Talking about the bald guy in the booth
Yeah.
who still has a job as we speak.
You want to take him to Canada? Because we don't want him here in Pittsburgh.
We
so.
don't, dude. I'm so sick and tired of this guy. And again, man, I think we're going to get on out of here. We've been live for about an hour and a half. Glad you guys for joining us tonight on a little late live stream. But you know we had to go live for the bye week because we're probably not going to be live Sunday. And we want to have a live interaction discussion with you guys about the bye week and the changes that should be made that probably will not be made. So we're pretty much wasting our breath right now. But
How would Tomlin say it? I can't even say it.
definitively no.
Yeah.
Like you said last
There
year.
you go. There you
said
go.
last year. God almighty. Unfortunately, nothing's going to change, guys. So keep that in mind. Don't let nothing cloud you. Don't let nothing blind you. I'm warning you guys right now. You guys can clip this, and if I'm wrong, I will eat my words. But I'm telling you right now, nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to get better. You're going to expect the exact same thing we saw the first 5 weeks.
Yep. So sit back, buckle up, fasten your seatbelts, and just be extremely prepared.
It's going to be the same story, the same game, week after week after week. So go in anticipating that. And if we somehow edge out victories, good. But that's all we're going to be able to do now.
And,
is edge out
and don't
victories.
let those victories cloud you from the fact that they're just going to continue the same thing the next week,
Yes.
and the week after that, and so on and so forth.
The only
And it's the unfortunate truth.
The only thing I'm praying for throughout the rest of the season is progression from Kenny, continued growth from the rookies, and everyone to stay healthy.
Yeah, big time.
And most importantly, TJ, Highsmith, and Pickens, and even Warren. Because let's be honest, if Warren goes down and we have Najee as the primary back, you can kiss our run game entirely goodbye. If Pickens goes down, our passing game, goodbye. Watt goes down, we already saw that last year. Then Highsmith, again, if it wasn't for those four guys, man, we would not be in the position we are right now. So shout to those guys. They were the MVPs for the first 5 weeks. But our Steelers, thankfully, have a bye week, and everyone can rest. Everyone can rest. The players, the fans, and apparently the higher-ups because they're not doing anything.
Yeah. But after this bye week, the Steelers for the remainder of the year have a long stretch to finish. And that's why changes need to be done.
Exactly.
That's why changes need to be done. That's another reason. It's a long stretch. You got an early bye, an earlier bye than you're used to. And you got a long stretch of games ahead of you.
Right, it's a long stretch. We're talking how many straight games? 13 straight games?
And you can't keep doing the same thing for that many consecutive games.
But they're going to.
They are going to.
Because if they were going to make changes, they would have been made already. So, Steelers Nation, continue to shout fire Canada. Make that, it's a movement at this point, bro. It's a movement.
As a matter of fact, we might as well be Russell Wilson. Let's ride.
Let's run.
Let's ride. Because it's not going to be a fun one.
No, it's not. So, still, I'm not going to say it. Anyway, you guys enjoy the rest of your night. Enjoy the bye week. Enjoy it because this is literally the only time we get a break this year. We got 13 more weeks of this horrendousness. We got 13 more weeks of Matt Canada. We have 13 more weeks of terrible defense and chunk plays. We have 13 more weeks of Levi Wallace. We have 13 more weeks of this terrible offense.
We got 13 more weeks of Tomlin excuses, nonsense, just SOS. Same old Steelers.
Yeah, exactly. We have 13 more weeks of this. So
let's get ready.
Let's get ready. And again, man, go into the rest of the season not expecting much.
And that's that.
It's going to be the same thing week after week like it has been year after year. There's no reason for us to expect anything greater. So don't go into it expecting anything greater. I'm warning you right now.
And that's what we're saying.
I wanted to have hope heading into the season that there would be something, but after that week 1 game versus the Niners and confirmation after the Texans game.
Oh, that's all we need to know.
Dude, that's completely buried and done at this point.
Yeah.
And all the Steelers are doing is just pouring more dirt on top of it. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's just get ready for the remainder of the year. But thankfully, we can rest, we can ease, we can calm, we can watch Sunday without having to call an ambulance in the first quarter. So, enjoy it, because it's the only time we're going to get it this year. Yeah. Otherwise, you guys enjoy the rest of your bye week. Any other content we might have out, we'll let you guys know. So, keep them notifications up. Otherwise, thank you guys for joining us on episode 27 of the Steeler Culture Podcast. Appreciate you guys. And enjoy the bye week. We'll see you guys next week for the Rams. And here we go, Steelers, at the end of the day, man. Seriously.
And as always, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you later. Peace!
Yeah. Oh, by the way. Hold on. We're not done here. Hold on. We're not done.
What?
I want to let you guys know right now, man, this is a special announcement.
Hold up.
This is a special announcement.
You want to remember.
Yes, I want to remember now. Thankfully, that thumbnail reminded me. This is going to get bigger. It's going to get bolder.
Okay, yeah.
It's going to get wider. We're getting a bigger Fire Canada sign. I'm telling you right now. The majority of this background is going to be nothing but a poster that says Fire Canada.
And that's not going anywhere.
And it should be on the way shortly. And I can't wait. I cannot fucking wait. It'll be here soon. And you know what? We might even do a special live stream when it gets here. Because I can't wait.
Okay.
I'm
down.
And for anyone saying
down.
that it's a fucking embarrassment, it's not an embarrassment. It's not an embarrassment. It's a fucking movement. I can't wait to put it up here.
Yeah.
I can't wait to put it up here. Okay, now we're going to go home. Now
Do I got to redo the outro?
No.
Peace.
Yeah. Hey, Matt Canada.
Go fuck yourself.
Oh, man, I can't wait for that sign to come in, buddy. I can't wait for it. I cannot wait for that sign to come up. Oh, man. I might even get another one.
Not even Bart Scott can wait as much as you
Can't
guys.
wait. Bro, I'm hyped. I'm hyped for that. Hope you guys are hyped for it as well, man. It's gonna be great. I don't know exactly how it's gonna turn out, but I know I'm gonna love it. All I know is that it's gonna get bigger. It's you'll see it. You'll see it. And no longer will I have to block this Fire Canada sign, which I think I did all stream. I don't know. I wasn't checking. You guys get the message. The Steelers don't, obviously, because this guy starts a fucking job. And as long as the Steelers score any sort of touchdowns they do, which is one for the remainder of every week we have to play,
we're on pace.
He'll remain emotionless.
We're on pace for 17 touchdowns on offense.
Damn, bro, that's fucking terrible.
That's one per game.
Damn, bro. That's fucking terrible. 17, bro?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's the pace.
I think the Dolphins already have that.
Yeah, they do.
I think they had like...
No, they have more than that. What are you talking about? They have like double that.
Speaking of more, let's get more of Broderick Jones and more of Joey Porter Jr. and less of the bald guy. So, yeah, we're going to get out of here. You guys enjoy the rest of your night, man.
Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Let us know what you guys think in the comments below.
Here you go, Steelers!
And one more time, Matt Canada.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Run the ball!
We do not care.
I just got 3 things to say.
Run the ball!
We do not care.
The Steelers suck.
Okay, I just gotta play it one more time. One more time. God, I love that. God, I love that. Okay, one more time. One more time. One more time.
This is all relevant, by the way. This man does not belong here. Ever. Again. Just go away.
I don't know when this guy's gonna leave, but I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna have a celebration live. I might get drunk on air, dude. Seriously.